You don't have to trade him to a contender because his list, oh, by the way, is filled with really good teams. Like, why not say we're going to, not that, and we've talked about this before, the Knicks don't have the assets here, but Sacramento or somebody like that, why am I giving in? I'm enabling one more time by saying, okay, James, we're going to send you to where, you want to go.
Why would Sacramento trade for James Harden knowing he wants nothing to do with being there, knowing he's going to be unhappy, knowing that in 2 years he's getting the hell out of Dodge? So that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not that he necessarily gets to pick his team, and he's gone from Brooklyn to, Philly, and maybe these other teams, But it's not that he gets to pick the team, but it has to make sense for that team as well, because especially if the asking price remains what it is, young franchise cornerstone and a bundle of picks and or promising talent on rookie contracts, you're giving up a ton to get them. So you're not going to give up a ton to get a guy who's just unhappy, and doesn't want to be there. It's going to be, it's going to be a miserable experience. Then he's going to be gone.
But handicap this though for me, Tim. If we look at this, does Milwaukee have the assets given what they?
Milwaukee's not a factor in this. Milwaukee's not a factor.
They gave up their draft picks. They gave up a lot to get Drew Holiday.
Well, that and Giannis and Harden have taken several shots at each other and can't stand each other. But other than that, I think it'd be a great fit.
All right, Philly. If Philly says we'll give you Ben Simmons and whoever, Tobias Harris or something.
Well, it would be what the Rockets will want there is Ben Simmons and picks.
Okay.
Tybal could be a pick. And look, PJ Tucker's probably getting traded at some point too. It would make a lot of sense if he's traded along with Harden to Philly. Daryl Morey obviously knows both players well. PJ Tucker is a great role player on a expiring contract. So you can expand the deal that way. But yeah, it's Ben Simmons, and then you haggle over picks. You haggle whether Tybal's in the deal. I still think that is the most likely scenario. I'm not certain that there is a consensus within the Sixers organization that they want to have anything to do with those kind of discussions.
And then I look at the Miami Heat, and I have somebody who works there, and I just said, give me the validity of that possibility, and so I guess they're exploring this. And if Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero would be the two assets that you might be able to get, okay, if I'm Houston, you got my attention because I do have young players. I have an all-star, maybe a potential all-star there, and maybe I get rid of all this drama, and there's a little addition by subtraction there. But if I'm Miami. Like Jimmy Butler had a hard time playing in Philly and Minnesota because of, these players who are immature. I mean, James Harden can be immature and wanted his way. I can't imagine Jimmy Butler putting up with the tardiness of James Harden.
Well, and, I do think James Harden and the Heat culture could be an interesting fit, and maybe he adapts. James Harden, when he gets traded, I think there will be an understanding that his legacy is on the line. Jimmy Butler and James Harden do have a relationship. Of course, so do James and Russ, a much longer relationship.
And Chris Paul.
It's funny, though. It's funny, though. The Rockets thought they were getting Jimmy Butler, not this offseason, last offseason.
Right.
Had it lined up. They were ready to ship out Capella and Gordon to make the room. Harden and Butler had been talking. They were ready. And then Jimmy ghosted him and went and signed, literally did not return texts and phone calls and went to Miami.
Ouch.
But look, those things, players get over those kind of things. But Miami, I would imagine, would the first thing they would say is, hell no, Bam is not on the table. Absolutely not. Don't even ask again. But Hero would absolutely intrigue the Rockets. Duncan Robinson would absolutely intrigue the Rockets. The Heat have several vets on expiring contracts where you can make the money work. They're a little bit limited in picks, but there's absolutely ways for an offer that makes sense to be put together for Miami.